If you never go after what you want, you'll never have it. If you never ask, the answer will always be no. And if you don't step forward, you'll always stay in the same place. And the thing is that fear really truly sticks you in a corner and makes you freeze up. And even though you know what you need to do, even though you know what are the tasks that are going to give you the results that you want, when you think about executing, that is so much more harder than planning, right? Planning is so easy. Making up a plan on how you're going to attack the week, making a plan on how you're going to make that business, post that content, make that podcast, like whatever it is, fear is the one thing that is truly keeping you in place and not allowing you to have the better life you know you deserve. And the thing is that these things are so logical, right? If you don't step forward, you stay in the same place. Very logical, very common sense. If you don't ask for what you want, like, you'll never get the answer. Like, these are things that we already know what we need to do, but yet somehow it is so hard to just implement. And that is where the pain of discipline really truly comes in, right? You either get the pain of discipline or you get the pain of regret. Which one you want? Which one do you want? Because you're gonna have one or the other. It's inevitable. You're gonna have regret from not doing the thing that you should have done, or the pain of discipline of sacrificing the moments you can have a better future. But the good news, right? It's never too late to start. It's never too late to try again. It's never too late to begin right now. It's never the wrong moment, right? It's never the wrong moment. We always wait for those perfect moments, but honestly, any moment is the perfect moment. The moment that you want to change is the perfect moment, because you could have just stayed in the same place that you've always been and never thought any differently until maybe 10 years down the line, when you think back and you're like, wow, I wish I would have done something back then. Then, you know, maybe things would be different. But overall, it's never too late. It's always a chance to start over fresh and start over new. I've started over new multiple times. So in this video, what I'm going to teach you is how to shape fear so that it motivates you, because there is a way to motivate yourself with fear. How to conquer these limiting beliefs, because with fear there comes belief systems that you believe in. When there's fear, there's things that we tell ourselves that are probably most likely not true, and maybe you're thinking it in a different way. And so I'm going to show you how you can have those limiting beliefs and actually make it work for you instead of against you. And then number 3 is that how to stay consistent, because frequency matters. Okay, how many times we show up matters so much more than what you may believe. So if you guys are new here, my name is Geraldine and I make videos all about goal setting, productivity, and procrastination. So if that's the type of content you love to consume, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also click the notification bell so you do know when I need to upload, and follow me on all my social media. I'm at Geraldine Silva. Okay guys, I am sweating in my car. But nevertheless, let's go ahead and get on with this video. So number 1, how to shape fear so that it motivates you, right? So we got to change the negativity into something that is positive. And you may be thinking, Geraldine, fear is negative. Like, fear is the thing that it's stopping me. Fear is the reason why I can't move. Fear is the reason why I feel stuck. Well, there's a way to shape your fear so that it actually creates movement, so that it actually creates curiosity. And what you need to do is you need to change it into a positive thing. You need to change it so that the words mean that you're missing out on something, because no one is more motivated than someone who feels like they're missing out, right? They're missing out on life. They're missing out on the party. They're missing out on what's online. They're missing out on the gossip. They're missing out on blah, 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 right? Insert whatever. No one is more motivated than someone who is in the fear of missing out. So what I want you to do is, whatever you're feeling, right? Let's say it's fear of regret. Change it to, I have the fear of not discovering my true potential. Isn't that just so much more powerful? Isn't that more of like, oh man, like if I never tap into my true potential, I'm gonna miss out on that. because I never wanted to discover that. So it becomes more of a curiosity thing and changing up what you actually are truly feeling. And it's more of a positive thing, right? Fear is the thing that we want in ourselves and are too afraid to go after it. But that just means that your dreams are meant to happen. That means wherever you are at, you are meant for more, because you know deep down inside you are meant for more. There is more to life than just whatever is happening right now, and that's a great thing. Okay, it means that there's always room for improvement. So changing the fear of failure to fear of not being brave enough. I don't feel brave enough. Okay, what can we do so that we can have that? What can we do so we can have that change? How do we become brave enough, right? It begins into this curiosity thing. It's not so much of a negative thing anymore. It's more of this curiosity thing. How do we become more brave? How do I tap into my true potential? I'm gonna fear of missing all this out if I don't figure it out now. And that is how I have shaped my fear, from fear of being seen online because I'm posting my content. Anyone can see it, anyone can judge me. But instead I'm like, maybe I don't fear being seen. Maybe I just fear being overlooked. Maybe I fear not being heard. I don't want to stay behind. Like, I fear staying behind. And I fear of never having the life that I always truly wanted. Like, it becomes this thing of, there's a fear of missing out. And that is how I want you to shape your fear. Instead of fearing the embarrassment, instead of fearing your failures, fear what you could be missing out instead of what could happen. What could you miss out instead if you don't do this? What could you miss out if you don't have the balls to go after your dream? What are you going to be missing out? And create that FOMO for yourself, because nothing's going to drive you more. Nothing's going to drive you more, because it drives me. Definitely drives me. When I have to clock into my 9 to 5 every day, and I see people online literally going shopping as their 9 to 5 as their full-time job, I'm like, clearly I'm not doing something right with my life, because how can I be doing that instead of this? How can I be making that much money instead of the money that I'm making right now? How do I do that, right? So I gotta clock in after work. I gotta make these videos, you guys. So step number 2, right? Oh yeah, so the fear of missing out. So do you want to continue being the person that you are today? Or 50 years from now, when you're looking back on your life, don't you want to say you had the guts to get into that car? Yes, I am quoting Transformers, but it stays true. 50 years from now, when you're looking back at your life, don't you want to say that you had the guts to post online, that you had the guts to make that podcast, that you had the guts to become that author, that you had the guts to make that business, to make that sell, to make whatever you wanted happen? Don't you wish you could go back in time and make that happen for you? Okay, because your 50-year-old self will come, and they're gonna look back at this point of your life, and either they're gonna be very extremely disappointed in the person that you are today, or they're going to be very grateful for the mindset shift that you had at this very moment, that is going to lead you to the life that you really truly wanted, and is going to be so happy that you never gave up on them. I want that for me, and I want that for you as well. And the thing is too, is that I currently see my life as like multiple timelines, just like Marvel. Like, you can either enter a timeline where you settle and you never go after your dreams and you just continue living the life that you do, or you can live in the timeline where you actually made actionable steps to get the life that you wanted and actually made it happen for yourself, and you can live a completely different life. Like, what do you want? And all of it is so scary because it's all like change, but the reality is true. Are you going to regret the path that you never took, or are you going to regret, or are you going to just suffer the pain of discipline to have the life that you've that you could be missing out if you don't. Okay, so step number 2, how to conquer these limiting beliefs. So it's not just like the fear. So it's the fear, right? You feel that sensation inside, and then there are the words that you're telling yourself of, I'm not good enough, who's going to want to buy from me, who's going to want to watch me, I don't have anything to say. These things actually have so much more meaning than you may actually think. These are actually actionable steps that you need to take. You are literally telling yourself the blueprint of what you need to do in order to have what you want. If you tell yourself, I just don't know what business I want to make, and therefore I'm not going to do it. Well, guess what, girly pop? That is the first thing you need to do. The first thing you need to do is figure out what the heck you want to sell. That is the first actionable step. If you want to tell yourself, oh, who's going to buy from me? Guess what? That means you lack the skills of selling, so therefore you should pay somebody to help you do that. You should pay for somebody to help you, or watch videos or read books on how you can sell. Maybe it's, who's going to want to listen to me? Well then, maybe you need to learn how to speak better, communicate better, increase your vocab, whatever. These are actionable things that you're actually telling yourself. Like, those things that you lack are the things that you need to gain. So all of these limiting beliefs, you conquer them by actually utilizing what you're telling yourself and making them into actionable steps. It's like, okay, I can't sell. Who's gonna want to buy from me? Well, let's figure it out. Who's gonna buy from me then? Let's figure it out. How do we market? How do we sell? How do we pick a niche community? How do we speak to that community? How do I get someone to click pay? These are actionable things. And what you're doing is you're allowing your limiting beliefs to be true by giving into it and making it true by not doing anything about it. When in reality, all you're doing is just voicing how you feel and just not taking care of it and not taking the action to go after your goals. These are all actions you can currently take. These are all actions these are moves that you can make right now and lay the foundation so that you can build upon those skills. So for example, if you don't know what business you want to make, then maybe it's time looking into the hobbies that you like to do, or thinking of all these interests that you have, whether it's history, whether it's science, whether it's beauty or journaling. Like, what can we do to create a business for ourselves that we can actually enjoy doing? Like, do you love shopping? Maybe you could do reselling. Maybe you love jewelry and you love vintage shopping, so you can sell vintage jewelry. Maybe you love creating stories in your head, and maybe you can create a blog that of all of your fanfics or all of your mini stories that you can post online and monetize some way, somehow. Like, there's ways that we can make money. There's ways that we can live the life that we truly want. There's ways to go about this, but it all starts by you shaping out what the fear actually means, and then utilizing those limiting beliefs that you do have as actionable steps, as your next step of what you could do. So for me, for example, I really want to post my Patreon, and I fear that it's not going to be good enough. But then again, that just means that there's some things I can work at. It's not the end all be all, but that just means that there's things that I need to do to make sure that my Patreon is worth the money that you guys are going to be paying for. Like, I tell myself limiting beliefs as well, but that doesn't mean it's going to stop me. And if anything, it's just I'm giving in my curiosity. Everything that you tell yourself, take it with a grain of salt and add some curiosity to it. Why am I thinking this? Why am I believing this? Everything, ask yourself why and journal it out and just see what you tell yourself, because a lot of it is just the lack of knowledge and the lack of awareness of what you're actually telling yourself. Okay, so the last thing, frequency matters. Okay, step number 3 is that frequency matters. The amount that you show up on the daily, monthly, yearly basis affects how quickly your goals can grow. Okay, we all know this consistency is so important, and how much you show up is really going to tell you whether you're going to grow this month, you're going to grow this much in one day, this much in 1 month, this much in 1 year. If you do it over and over and over again every single day, you can make so much progress. So much progress from you showing up every single day. So it doesn't matter how scared you are, how good you are, how rich you are, how poor you are. If you continue to show up and do the hard work, the less anxiety you will feel and the better you will become. This is inevitable, okay? If you show up every single day having that mindset that I'm gonna conquer this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna attack this, over time you're gonna get better, and the less anxiety you will feel stepping into that room, stepping into that video, stepping into that space, in that headspace. Everything is going to calm down. And the thing is that when you first enter this whole new world, you're gonna feel all the feelings of uncertainty, of uncomfortableness, because it's something you've never done before. But once you continue to do it over and over and over again, the less you're going to feel that. And to give you an example is me working in a school currently. When I started last year in a school for the first time ever, it is such a different ballpark than me working doing speech sessions in home one-on-one with a 2-year-old versus me working with middle schoolers or even high schoolers at this point. And it was so scary because I've never worked with higher grades. I've never worked with kids over the age of 3, and I've never worked in multiple groups. I never worked on targeting certain sounds, certain like language skills. I didn't know any of it. And so stepping into this role every single day for work was so, my anxiety, you guys would have no idea. My anxiety was through the roof. I felt such imposter syndrome. I was constantly criticized of how I was doing my work because I didn't know what I was doing. So obviously people were going to criticize me and tell me like, you're doing it wrong, you need to do it this way. So I was beaten down for basically 6 to 7 months until we ended up in summer school, until the school year ended. Every single day, without a doubt, by maybe like 1 week out of the 5 days that I worked, I was constantly being told like, that's not good enough, you need to do better. So even though I felt anxiety, even though I would cry on my way to work because I was just so upset at how bad I was doing, I kept showing up. And in the moment, I didn't feel that. All I felt was like, this hole is never ending. I'm never gonna get better. But I mean, work is work. You still have to show up to work. So I showed up to work regardless. And this is why I say this is such a valuable lesson. Like, I swear this job is so valuable. I entered this new school year with the same supervisors that I had last year who would critique me all the time, and stepping into this role again with my newfound skills, from my baseline that was right here, stepping into this role, I was up here now. My skill set grew, so did I feel less anxiety. I don't feel scared coming into work. I don't feel this overwhelming feeling of like depression, of wanting to quit or wanting to leave my job, or even wanting to call off and having like mental health days, because I had a lot of those last year, of like having mental health days because I finally overcame all of that, because I got better. And that's the same thing that you're gonna go through, and that what I'm gonna go through as well. Anytime that we have a new change, anytime that we're learning a new skill, we're gonna go through that cycle over and over and over again until we're at a point where we're really good at what we do and we can teach somebody else, right? So with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Also click the notification bell so you do know when I do upload, and follow me on all my social media. I'm so sorry it looks like so shiny. It's really hot in my car. I just came out of work, sat in my hot ass car under some shade, and yeah, it's boiling hot, and I'm wearing a long sleeve on top of that. So I need to turn on the AC, but don't forget to subscribe. We'll have a new video uploading on Friday. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye. Mwah.